Welcome back to American Girl Collectors. So, as you may notice, I have given my 18-inch dolls from several brands, including American Girl, and two bitty babies, Halloween costumes. Wow, this took forever to do. But I did post a video previously on what supplies I had purchased, and then I also had put up decorations, which you will see in the upcoming upload. So I'm going to post how they look like, the dolls, and then I'm going to show you what the decorations look like. So usually I line them up on one wall, but because there's so many costumes and some are a bit big and stuff, I had to use both walls. So first I'll do the 18-inch and then I'll come back to the bitty babies. So first we have the skeletons, and these stop motions are actually going to be about it's going to be a few uploads. So there's going to be funny things happening in the stop motions, like a Halloween contest, who gets the most candy. I'm even thinking of building a little stage for them so that they could have like a little Halloween theater play. So I am working on the stop motions. But yeah, so here are the skeletons. The way I did this the first time was where I had made the bones out of Bristol board, and I made them too big, and I had just stuck it to their clothes, and I really didn't like how that worked out. So this morning I had to redo them. I like the mask though. The masks are pretty funny. What I did was I had got purple tablecloth, because this is sort of like a slushy, I don't really know how to, a meshy type of fabric, and the tablecloths come with such big pieces of fabric, or I should say tablecloth material, so it gave me a lot of fabric to work with. What I had done was made squares of the fabric, and then I had poked a hole, or just like a slot, so I could slide their head right through. And then I had it's sort of like a poncho, almost like a sweater almost. I had poked holes for their hands, and then I just shrunk down. I cut the bones smaller, and I added them to the purple material, so that way they can move around, they can move their hands and stuff, and it's just easy for them to move around in this type of costume. And if they want, they could always put the mask on top, you know. So yeah, these were the skeletons. Oh, and if you're wondering if I chose which doll for each costume, it was just totally random. I just went through a list of my dolls' names, and I gave them a random costume. So here were the ghosts. These were actually easy because I had a lot of white fabric material. I did the same concept as the skeletons, and what I had done was poke a hole for their head where I slide it in, and then I also poked holes for their hands so that they could slide their hands right through, and it would be very comfortable. I wasn't going to give them a mask, but then I thought that their head was kind of like plain, so I gave them a mask also if they wanted to wear it, or they could just leave it up there. And I just drew on a ghost face onto their costume. So their hands are poked in like that, and they can move around, and it's very comfortable for the ghosts. I also had 5 skeletons, and I have 5 ghosts. Now, for the 18-inch dolls, I have here Halloween witches. I was going to make them just a witch, but it'd be funny if they were jack-o'-lantern witches. So I had used Bristol board to make the witch hats. I have black tape also, and I used the same cardboard, or I should say Bristol board material for the brooms. And then for the costumes, I had used black fabric, and I had made a little dress for them so that they slide their head right through, and then they can poke their arms through, so it's like a dress. And I just added these little jack-o'-lanterns onto their dress. So yeah, and then so there's only 4 here, but the bitty baby, one of the bitty babies, is also a jack-o'-lantern witch. So that's how they look like. Next we have the vampires. One of Bitty Baby is also a vampire. So first I had made the red cape, and then I said something's missing. So I went ahead and I made the collar, because the vampires always have this like big black collar around their neck. And the little fangs, I had just white Bristol board and I painted some blood on it. I could go ahead and cover their entire mouth, but because they need to breathe, I guess, well, I don't really know if dolls do breathe, but at least this way they can move their mouth, I guess. And the fangs are still there, so yeah, here were a few vampires. Now, getting into this side, we have the werewolves. So this one I had bought in wire, and I had old material from a hooded jacket that I took off the fur around the collar, and I made some ears for them. I also made some paws on their hands. I had just used some tape to secure some furriness to their hands, because it's supposed to be like that. And then I noticed that they needed fur on their face, but I didn't really want to stick it to their face, so I just gave it to them like a scarf almost, where they have it under their neck. I gave them a tail, a long tail, and this is actually some material that matches really well with the color, so I decided to use that. And I made them really long because I wanted to make it seem like they were covered in fur. So we have 4 werewolves here. I was doing 34 dolls, which is why the werewolves are only 4 of them. But I like the way they turned out. So now we have the Halloween fairies. There are 5 of them. And what I had done was, of course, I had to give them wings. And I used wire for it. Let me choose a doll with shorter hair so you could at least see. Well, what I had done was I got wire, and then I made 2 wings with it, as you can tell, and I secured it together with some tape. That's how I did with all of them. And I used some yarn to attach it to their body. I also made skirts that are from the same fabric as the fairy wings. And the fairy wings are just really cute because it totally matches the skirt. And because they're jack-o'-lantern or Halloween fairies, I thought they would have magic wands that match the jack-o'-lantern wands and their skirts. So they got wings, so they kind of like need the space. The spiders are last, but the fairies, I always try to like give them some space because or else their wings are going to get stuck together. And then here we have the spiders. There's 5 of them here. And what I had done was let me show you a doll that probably has shorter hair. Maybe her hair's covering it. Let me, well, I guess I'll just choose this doll. Okay, so what I had done was I made 4 strips of Bristol board, and I attached some purple to it. I used a wire to join them all together on the inside, and then that way it can bend. It's really bendy, the wire. I could fold it. So these spider legs, there's supposed to be 8 of them, 4 on each side. At least they're like bendy. And then I gave them a skirt with a little spider accessory on it. And of course spiders have antennas, so I made these little headbands also out of wire and streamer material, and I made antennas for all of them because, well, the spiders use the antennas. So we have spiders, Halloween fairies, werewolves, vampires, Halloween witches, ghosts, and skeletons. And now we got the 2 babies over here who want to play Halloween too. We got the little Halloween witch, and then who also has a broom. And then we got the little vampire who doesn't like wearing the teeth very often, but I guess for the sake of this video, she'll like to wear it. I'm thinking that in the upload where they're going to be like, I don't know if they're going to be trick-or-treating because babies are probably too little, but they will be inside coloring in like a Halloween coloring book or something. So that was 34 Halloween DIY costumes for the upcoming American Girl Collectors Halloween Town stop motion playlist. And if you're wondering, I've had a suggestion, why don't you make it a movie? All my playlists are in order, so you play them in order. Even if I upload them one at a time, for example, the Harry Potter one, I filmed a few uploads. But if you play it, it goes in order. Same with Dear Diary. You play it, it's as if it's a movie. So, now you're going to go ahead and see the decorations that we posted for the sets in the upcoming upload.